What's up, everybody? It's me, Anthony, and it's the time of the week again. It's Anthony's NFL picks. Week 14. Heard me right. We are now in the 14th week of the NFL, and if you're wondering why I'm being so quiet right now, is because my parents are sleeping right now, and I don't want to wake them up right now. So let's get things started, and we're gonna finish the season off strong. So before we start, there are four teams that will be on bye week this week for the final time for the 2025-26 season. They are the 2-11 Giants, the 9-4 Niners, the 11-2 Patriots, and the 7-6 Panthers will not be in for this week. So let's get things started. And before we start, last week I started off 0-4 because I got all the holiday games wrong incorrect, and I finished off 9-7. That is crazy. And now my overall record now is 123, 68-1. But anyways, let's get things started. And kicking things off for Thursday Night Football, we have a battle between the 6-5-1 Cowboys and the 7-5 Lions. Cowboys are here after surprisingly beating the Chiefs on Thanksgiving 31-28. The Cowboys looked really good, and they have won 3 straight. Ever since their bye week, they have won 3 straight. They have gotten a lot better. Now they're going on to Detroit against the Lions, who got swept by Green Bay this season. Detroit is not a good team anymore. I don't think they're for real. They have so many injuries. They're not. If their season ended today, they wouldn't even be in it. They have so many injuries, and Taron Arnold is hurt now. He hurt himself, so that's a huge blow for the Lions. But to be honest, I'm gonna go with the Cowboys. I'm gonna go with Anthony's upset of the week. I'm taking that the Cowboys will beat Detroit because all these injuries are piling up. I'm going with Dallas. Cowboys will defeat the Lions 26-23. Cowboys will be 7-5-1. The Lions will go on to be 7-6. We move on with our next game. And now time for our Sunday games, the 1 p.m. ones to be exact. Our first one is Battle of the Garbage, the 1-11 Titans and the 3-9 Browns. Titans are here after losing to Jacksonville, getting blown out by them 25-3, and they just got eliminated from the playoffs because of that. They are not going to Super Bowl 60. Now they're taking on the Browns, who got completely clobbered by the 49ers. The 49ers are a really good team, and the Browns, I knew they were going to lose. The Browns are 3-9. Shador got hurt, then Dylan Gabriel stepped in, and then Shador came back. It's a really weird season going on. I think they should stick to Shador. He's not that bad. I think he will be starting again this week, but who knows? I'm going to go with the Browns on this one. It's going to be a really crappy game, but again, both teams are really bad. Like, the Titans are terrible. The Browns are always been bad. They were only good for 2 years one time, but I'm going to go with Cleveland on this one because the Titans are an absolute dumpster fire. The Browns will beat the Titans 16-10. Browns will be 4-9. The Titans will be 1-12. We move on with our next game. Coming up at our next game, we have the 9-3 Seahawks and the 4-8 Falcons. Seahawks are here after completely shutting out Minnesota, beating them 26-0. Sam Darnold got his revenge. I swear the Vikings should have kept Sam Darnold last season, but they never did, and now look at the consequence they had to suffer on Sunday. But we'll get to Minnesota later because I have something special for them. But either way, they look really good, and now they're taking on the Falcons, who are 4-8, and they lost to the Jets 27-24 with that last-second kick. The Falcons actually lost to the Jets, but again, what can you do? The Falcons are a really crappy team, and they're not really good at all. Michael Penix is out for the season. Kirk Cousins is not making things any better, so I'm going to go with the Seahawks on this one. Seattle's been a really good team all season. They look really well. I think they could make the playoffs indefinitely. They have 9 wins, so I think they're going to get their 10th one. Seattle will defeat the Falcons 24-14. Seahawks will be 10-3. The Falcons will be 4-9. We move on with the next game. Coming up at our next game, we have a battle for first place for the AFC South. We have the 8-4 Colts and the 8-4 Jaguars. Colts are here after losing to the Texans, losing 2 straight now, both to Kansas City and Houston, 20-16. I think that the Colts are starting to hit earth again. After starting off 8-2, they lost 2 straight. I think they're not for real anymore. The Colts are having a lot of issues. Daniel Jones has been having a lot of issues. A lot of stuff's been going on. And now they're taking on Jacksonville, who is 8-4, and they've been playing really well right now. I know they beat the Titans, though, but they're still in the race. They're battling for first place for the AFC South. So are the Texans. Titans, are terrible. They're done already. But I think they're going to beat the Colts because they're in Jacksonville. I think they're going to split the series with it because, again, the Jaguars are very good now. Liam Cohen's doing a great job, and they're doing this without Travis Hunter because he hurt himself for the season. So I'm going to go with Jacksonville on this one. Jaguars will defeat the Colts 33-30. Jaguars will be 9-4. Colts will be 8-5. We move on with our next game. Coming up at our next game, we have a battle between the injury games. We got my 3-9 Commanders and the 4-8 Vikings. Both teams are coming back from losses. My Commanders are here after losing that close overtime game against Denver, 27-26. The game ended in November. The game started in November and ended in December because it went into overtime. But again, Scary Terry finally came back. He is back now after suffering all that injury back in September, but he's better. But again, they didn't have Jaden Daniels. If we had Jaden Daniels, we probably would have won against Denver. Because again, we'll get to Denver later. I think they might be frauds. But now they're going on to Minnesota against the Vikings. And oh my goodness, Minnesota got completely embarrassed by Seattle. 26-0. Max Brosmer started and he threw for not one, not two, not three, but 4 interceptions. He is terrible. But again, what can you do? It's his first start ever, and J.J. McCarthy got hurt, or 9 got hurt. I don't think J.J. McCarthy might be the answer in the long run. He's just not good, J.J. McCarthy. I'm sorry, I don't see it. He's like Christian Ponder. Remember Christian Ponder? I don't even know, if anyone remembers Christian Ponder. It's years ago. But he's kind of reminding me of him, and because of that, I'm going to go with the Commanders. Hopefully we win our next game, because we have lost 7 straight. We have nothing. I'm going to go with Washington, hopefully. Knock on the wood, even though our season's over, basically. I'm going to go with them. Commanders will defeat the Vikings 27-21. Commanders will be 4-9. The Vikings will also be 4-9. We move on to our next game. Coming up at our next game, we got a pretty good game. It's a battle between the 4-8 Bengals and the 8-4 Bills. Bengals are here after winning against the Ravens on Thanksgiving, 32-14. Joe Burrow finally returned, and he played amazing out there. He was really good, and I like Joe Burrow. He's a really good quarterback. I really hope they don't turn him into Andrew Luck, because, again, Andrew Luck was really good, but, again, horrible management. The Bengals don't have a really good defense. Trey Hendrickson's the only key defensive player, and that's a huge red flag. That's why they were so good back then with Joe Burrow. That's why they went to the Super Bowl, because they had a good defense at the time. They don't really have a good defense. That's the issue, and that's the same issue they had. That's why they missed the playoffs the last 2 years in a row. They really need that help. Now they're going on against Buffalo, who beat the Steelers 26-7. They got back on track after that loss against Houston on Thursday night. I'm going to go with Buffalo. If Buffalo wins, that's a huge thing, and they need to win because if they want to win the AFC East, they got to get through the Patriots, and the Patriots are 11-2. They're not slowing down. They're on bye week, so Buffalo has to take advantage of this game today, of this game Sunday, in order if they want to win the East, because, the Patriots are catching up. And they really need to take advantage of that. They're 2 games behind them, so they really need to keep moving. But I'm going to go with Buffalo, I think. But it will be a close game, though. Bills will defeat the Bengals 30-28. Bills will be 9-4. Bengals will be 4-9. We move on with our next game. Coming up at our next game, we have an NFC South matchup, and it's between the 2-10 Saints and the 7-5 Buccaneers. Saints are here after losing to the Dolphins 21-17, and now the Saints are actually eliminated from the playoffs now. They are not going to Super Bowl 60 either, along with the Titans and the Giants. And now they're going on to Tampa Bay against the Buccaneers, who beat the Cardinals 20-17. The Buccaneers really played sloppy, but again, Jacoby Brissett started yet again, and I think he might be starting again this Sunday. We'll get to those teams later. But again, the Buccaneers, they are okay, and Mike Evans might be returning next week on Thursday night against Atlanta, so they really need to use Mike Evans if he wants to do that as a 1,000-yard season yet again. Mike Evans is really good. I think he'll be a Hall of Famer, first ballot, no doubt. But I'm going to go with the Buccaneers. If they win, they sweep the Saints for the season, and the Saints are downright garbage. They are not a good team anymore. I don't see them going far. I think the Buccaneers are going to win this game. It's in Tampa Bay, so hopefully they'll win it. Buccaneers will defeat the Cardinals 25-22. Buccaneers will be 8-5. The Saints will be 2-11. We move on with the next game. And coming up at our next game, these last 2 1 o'clock games are all division battles, an AFC North matchup. It's battle for first place of the AFC North, and it's between the 6-6 Steelers and the 6-6 Ravens. Both out of 6s today. The Steelers are here after losing to Buffalo, getting completely demolished, 26-7. Aaron Rodgers got completely knocked out, and he looked like the SpongeBob meme, actually. He got knocked out by Joey Bosa. I think he's going to retire. And speaking of Aaron Rodgers, today is his birthday, actually. So he's pretty old. I think he's 43 today, which is cool. But either way, I think they're going to lose because the Ravens are a better team. They lost to the Bengals on Thursday night. They looked really good, Cincinnati. I thought they were going to lose that game because the Ravens were up and down with them. They were up 7-3. When I went to bed, it was 12-7 Bengals, and then all of a sudden, the Bengals won, which I was so shocked about. But I'm going to go with the Ravens. Their Steelers have a lot of injuries. I think Baltimore is healthy. They need to win this game in order if they want to win the North entirely. But again, I'm going with Baltimore on this one. Ravens will defeat the Steelers 31-19. Ravens will be 7-6. Steelers will be 6-7. We move on with the next game. Coming up in our next game, we have an AFC East matchup, and this one is between the 5-7 Dolphins and the 3-9 Jets. Dolphins are here after winning against the Saints, and the Dolphins have done a very good job lately. They started off really rough, and ever since they fired Chris Grier on Halloween, they have been undefeated ever since. Like, they've been playing a lot better, and they're doing this without Tyreek Hill, keep in mind. And here we have the Jets. Both teams come back from wins. The Jets are here after shockingly beating the Falcons 27-24. The Jets played very well. And Tyrod Taylor might be an answer, but again, I don't want to get my hopes up if you're a Jets fan, because again, the Jets might jet themselves, and I think they're going to, because Miami is a better team, I think. The Dolphins are playing very, very well, and I think they're going to keep that winning streak up in order if they want to go to the postseason. But again, it's a very weird season. I'm going to take Miami over this one, though. Dolphins will defeat the Jets 26-13. Dolphins, they'll go on to be 6-7. The Jets will be 3-10, possibly be eliminated. But we're moving on with the next games. And now we have our 4 p.m. games. And all these 4 p.m. games are all division battles. And our first division battle is between the 10-2 Broncos and the 2-10 Raiders. Broncos are here after shockingly upsetting my Commanders. That wasn't an upset. Like, we lost in overtime, 27-26. I think the Broncos might be frauds, because a lot of people are saying that. My friend says it. My dad says it's like, oh yeah, the Broncos are frauds. I think they could be frauds. They keep winning these one-scoring games. You know what this team is reminding me of, this Denver Broncos team? They're kind of reminding me of the 2024 Minnesota Vikings. Remember last season when the Vikings went 14-3 with Sam Darnold? It's the same thing. I think they're going to lose in the wild card, and everyone's going to say, I told you so. I think the Broncos aren't for real, to be honest. If they keep winning these close games, I don't think they're for real. But they're taking on the Raiders, which again, the Raiders are a really bad team. They just got eliminated from the playoffs after getting swept by the Chargers this season, 30-20, 31-14. Brock Bowers still had a great catch, though, I have to admit. And that crazy catch by Treylon Brooks from my Commanders was also another crazy catch that we had against them on Sunday night. But either way, I'm going with Denver on this one. I think the Broncos are going to sweep the Raiders because the Raiders are a really bad team. I think they should fire Pete Carroll. I don't even know why they would hire Chip Kelly in the first place, though, but I'm going to go with Denver. Broncos will defeat the Raiders 34-7. Broncos will be 11-2. Raiders will be 2-11. We move on with our next game. Coming up at our next game, we have an NFC West matchup, and it's between the 9-3 Rams and the 3-9 Cardinals. Rams are here after surprisingly losing to the Panthers 31-28. But however, Puka Nacua had a crazy catch that game. Puka Nacua is a really good wide receiver. And however, Matthew Stafford did not play very well. He threw for 2 picks and 2 touchdowns. But, you can't be doing that type of stuff. I know Matthew Stafford's old. I think he's, in his 30s, late 30s. I think he's going to probably retire in, a year or two. But now they're going on against Arizona, who completely lost to Tampa Bay. They played very competitive, don't get me wrong, Jacoby Brissett might be starting, who knows, or Kyler Murray might be returning. I don't know what's going to happen indefinitely, but either way, it doesn't matter because the Cardinals have been eliminated from the playoffs. They're not going to Super Bowl 60 either. But I'm going to take the Rams over the Cardinals either way. They need to win if they want to go get that number 1 seat in the NFC. However, we'll get to another team after this one. But I think they're going to beat the Cardinals. Rams will defeat the Cardinals 23-20. Rams will be 10-3. Cardinals will be 3-10. We move on with the next game. Coming up at our next game, this is a really good matchup, okay? Hear me out. It's an NFC North matchup between the best team in the NFC conference right now, shockingly, the 9-3 Bears, and the 8-3-1 Packers. Bears are here after surprisingly beating the Eagles on Black Friday, 24-15. They have made a big improvement. Caleb Williams is playing very well, but again, I don't know if the Bears are for real, to be honest, and so are the Packers. The Packers are 8-3-1. They swept the Lions this season, and I talked to my father about the script writing about this, and he said, I don't know if the Packers are for real, to be honest. But this is a really weird season, though. I don't know who will win the NFC North. We're going to find out. It's in Lambeau Field. I think the Packers will win. I think the Packers could win the NFC North, to be honest. I think I might be right about that because I said that back in September. I think they're going to win the division because there's no other good teams. The Vikings are bad. The Lions have injuries. The Bears, I'm not quite sure about. I don't really trust them. But I'm going to go Green Bay on this one. It'll be a really close game, though. The Packers will defeat the Bears 36-33. Packers will be 9-3-1. The Bears will drop to be 9-4. We move on to the next game. And coming up for Sunday Night Football, we have the 7-5 Texans and the 6-6 Chiefs. Texans are here after beating the Colts, surprisingly, knocking them out in Indianapolis 20-16. C.J. Stroud finally came back from his injury, and either way, when he was out, they still won. They won against Buffalo on Thursday night, which was crazy. And they beat Jacksonville, too. They split the series with them without him. And Joe Mixon might not be returning, though, but they got Woody Marks, the rookie. He's been really good. Jaden Higgins playing really good. Also another rookie. They still got Nico Collins. They're still a really good team, don't get me wrong, though. And also, there's Nick Chubb, too, who they got from the Browns. But now they're going on against Kansas City, who lost to the Cowboys on Thanksgiving, 31-28. I don't think the Chiefs are going to the playoffs this season. This Super Bowl hangover is really killing them this season. And because of that, I'm going to go with the Texans. Texans will defeat the Chiefs 20-13. Texans will be 8-5. The Chiefs will go on to be 6-7. We move on with the next game, and last but not least for this week for Monday Night Football, we have a battle between the 8-4s, the 8-4 Eagles and the 8-4 Chargers. Eagles are here after losing against the Bears 24-15, and I egged the Eagles offensive coordinator's house because the Eagles have been playing really badly. They're not the same team they were last season where they won the Super Bowl, and I don't think they're going to win against the Chargers, but again, the Eagles are a better team. The Chargers, they beat the Raiders, but again, the Raiders are a really bad team. I'm going to go with Philadelphia on this one. The Eagles really need to regroup if they want to win the NFC East, and this might be the first time an NFC East winner will go back-to-back for the first time since like 2003 or 2004. I'm going to go with the Eagles on this one. They need to regroup. I know it's in LA, though, but Philadelphia has to regroup this one. Eagles will defeat the Chargers 32-21. Eagles will be 10-4. I mean, not 10-4, 9-4. The Chargers will be 8-5. And that is it for this week, everybody. These are all my NFL picks for Week 14. Tune in next week for Anthony's NFL picks, Week 15, which will be premiering next Tuesday, December 9th. This is Anthony signing off, and have a great weekend.